Hello everyone.
Alright, if you want to get your sparrow, we can be in the Forgotten Shore in seconds.
This is Light again, and I'm just doing the Destiny 4th part of the story line, which is still going to be on the Cosmodrome, but at the beginning of this storyline we are going to get our sparrow. Even for that, of course, after you just got it, you can, and if you are just going back, you will have it. So of course I'm not really intend to walk there, but let me just do such thing like what I was just on to, because at some point I was thinking on that I'm going to do such thing like this. Oh yeah, that's cool. Let's just collect the orbs. What else? And yeah, I was just thinking that in some way I'm going to do it with not the solar hunter. Of course I'm going to do it with the arc hunter, which is just great in stealth. Even for that, in some way, I mean not in some way, it's a different cost in some way. So I guess, I mean I'm not sure, but I think before you should have to go there, you might need to go to this place, and you will need to use the axe to sync with your sparrow, and after this point you are going to get it and you will be able to use it. But because of that I just do have it, I'm not able to do it again. So in this way, of course, it's just showing me the way where to get to the Warmind. And I think I have to mention at least that this sparrow, in so many ways, it's going to be one of your best friend. And for personally, I do really like the control of the sparrow. It can do a lot of things, and it's just really fast. Not to mention if you are just going to have a faster one than the default one. But as you can see right now, I'm not intend to pass them just by itself. I'm intend to get close. Because of that, this invisibility is just going to be around for 8 seconds, because I just extended it. So in default it's just going to be around for 4 seconds. But of course, because of that, I just got my how do they say it in the game? Let me just check it. How do they call it? Just going to be the blink strike. Let me just show it. Then if I'm just so the blink strike's second skill or perk is just going to be the escape artist, which is hitting an enemy with blink strike grants brief invisibility. Yeah, let me just get back again, because if the invisibility of yours is just going to be the shadow jack, then it's just going to be increased the duration of the invisibility effect. And let me show you one more thing, because you can gain invisibility after crouching in place for a short time. So in this way, if I'm just going to crouch here for 2 seconds, it's just going to change and turn to invisible for 8 seconds, and of course they are not really going to see me. And because of that, I just got recharged my blink strike. I could be able to turn to invisible next to them, and of course in so many ways it's great. And because of that, I'm just having such thing like an invisible thing, because you can use your super to get to invisible mode. Of course it's going to be really great for you, because in so many ways you can extend your invisibility, and after it's just going to go away, it's just going to change you back to visible, of course. But in this way, oh shit, in this way it would be like you have 4 or 5 ways. Not to mention that, of course, you can have such weapon like this, which is just, if upgraded, then it will do such thing like gain camouflage while aiming down the sight. So if I would do such thing like using it and aiming up down the sight for 2 seconds, then it's going to change me to invisible, and of course it's going to give you another possibility how to change to invisible. So in this way this character is just really about the stealth. But yeah, what is just why I do need to go that way? I'm not sure what is happening. Maybe I just went away from the place where I should be. I'm not sure, but let me just go back, because I might miss something. Or maybe I'm just not at the good way, because it can happen that I need to go to the Forgotten Shore, which is just going to be that way. And yeah, at least right now I can use my Sparrow to move from one place to another. Of course, if you are just using your Sparrow, you cannot use the invisibility. And
we're approaching the shore. The Fallen are using some sort of signal amplifiers. Let's see what they're transmitting.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about that you do have 4 or 5 way, because I do have this, the Don't Touch Me Gauntlet, which is an exotic gauntlet, and it has the perk that taking damage from a melee attack makes you briefly invisible. So it's going to be, doesn't matter if I'm going to hit the enemy or the enemy is going to hit me, I'm going to turn to invisible. But if I'm going to hit the enemy, it's going to turn me invisible only if my Blink Strike just has the perk and it's just on it, and of course it's just cooled down. So in this way, of course, you will need to watch for it. But if you are just counting it in and you are just learning how to use it, then you really will be able to stay invisible for almost all the time, or at least when you are just need to do such thing like staying invisible, because of course you can do it not for too long, but at some point you watch for it, because if you are just going to hit them, and if you are just going to, you might be aware that I was just jumping away both times when I was just doing such thing, and I was just doing it because if you are just not jumping away, then it's going to hit back, and of course it's going to damage you, what is not going to be great, especially on Nightfall, for example, because in that way the light switch is going to kill you in one hit. So you need to learn it how it's just working, but at some point it's just going to work well, I guess. Oh, it was really fine how I was able to blow them to pieces in some way. My arc grenade just made the job. And yeah, it looks like that I will need to scan an amplifier, and I'm just trying to check.
Give me a second.
Where is the other enemy, which is just shown on my enemy radar.
Let's check the other one.
I think it just went out in some way. Oh yeah, it just there. Okay, it just still, because so if I'm just going to shoot when I'm in invisible mode, of course I'm going to get out from it. I was able to kill it before I just got to invisible mode. So in this way, I was not able, well, maybe I was able to. So you just need to learn it. It has a way how it's working, and if you are just intend to do such thing like staying invisible all the time, you can do it, I guess. And I guess it's really a good weapon against any kind of enemies. I mean, really, you can think of that. It's working if you are invisible. They are not really seeing you, but if you are just going to get that close, oh shit, then it's just really going to do such thing like my Sparrow is under me, and that's why I was getting down and down. So yeah, you need to learn it, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to talk about more, but yeah, let me just show that way that if you are just on to do such thing like doing an objective, you don't really need to kill the enemy, because in that way, if you are just not going to kill them, even for that you might be close. Watch it, yeah, it's just not going to shoot on it, but I'm on to, okay, I was just missing the time, so let me just do such thing like this. Let me deploy the ghost. Ah yeah, one more thing, if even for that you are just invisible, the homing projectiles are still going to see you for some reason. So even for the enemies just not really know where you are, the homing projectiles are still going to come after how it's just going to come after you when you are just doing such thing. Oh shit, I was not watching, of course. So it's not going to work against only the homing projectiles, you need to watch for it, but of course as you could see, I was not really shooting them down, I was just releasing out the ghost in invisible mode, and in that way of course I was able to pass them in some way unseen, I guess, but it was not really happened that way how I was on to do such thing. Oh yeah, respawning restricted, so in this way that's the place where the game is just started, I mean the storyline, because it just started to be on level 30 from this point, because before this point is just not really that kind. So in this way let me just try to do such things like shooting them down instead of anything, and for that I just brought a great weapon with myself, but I guess I'm just going to change it, because I'm intent to use my favorite weapon, which is just a hand cannon from a rare kind, not even a legendary, but it has the ability to cool down my grenades and it has the ability to over-penetrate the enemy. So I think it's just going to make the job, not to mention that I do remember when I was just doing such thing like starting the game, and I was doing it at the first time, I realized that in so many ways I was the most effective with the hand cannon. It was I mean it was the same kind of all the weapons, and with the hand cannon I was really able to kill almost all the enemy, and it was not even that hard how I just got problems or issues with any other kind of weapons. So in this way I think for me the hand cannon just works the best. Even for that it's not really for long range, it can be used for middle range, but in some way it's best for short range, and not to mention that in short range it has the most damage, I guess, and I guess that was the reason why I was able to use it out well. Because of course if you are just doing it the precision damage, I'm talking about precision damage, because after the Cosmodrome on other planets other enemies are just going to have their precision points maybe not on their heads, so in this way they are just calling it precision points, precision kills, and not headshot kills. So yeah, as you can see I'm just progressing, and of course because of that I'm just above them with one level. In some way I'm not going to have a problem with it, and of course I'm not really intent to change it back to level 28 or 29 how I was doing it before. I'm just intent to have fun, I guess, and in some way it might be good for you that I'm just not going to struggle around. At some point you might be able to find out how to approach the places. Oh shit, you see that it's just going to come around, and of course, oh shit, I was just, yeah, as you can see, because of that it just did hit me. I got into invisible mode, but of course I'm not really happy about that it was able to hit me, because I'm always just trying to train like on the Nightfall in some way, and Nightfall is the hardest in so many ways, and there is a light switch thing there which lets the enemy to kill you
or tapped into something in the back of the room
with one kill, but it looks like that in some way, oh yeah, I think I just made it wrong, but at some point because of that this weapon has the ability to shoot through them. In some way I would be able to shoot only once, they would be in one line, but it looks like that they are not really in one line. So let me just try to use my grenade again on them. And let me just reload a bit, because even for that it has 9 bullets in the chamber. I was intent to use it out well, so reloading is always a good thing if you do have the chance. Let me just check out what is just happening, and I'm just of course intent to use my grenade. Right now I guess I will need to fight them down. Even for that I could change to invisible. It would not help, because I guess the point of this story is just that thing, the Warmind itself, Rasputin, how they call this. Yeah, because of that, in some way I'm just intend to tell about the game, how if I'm just telling it to new guys. So in this way I have to tell you that this guy, I mean the storyline third part, you could see that the wizard has solar shield, which was yellow, and in this I mean this guy has arc shield, which is just blue in some way. So that's why my grenade just works really great on it. But as you can see, if I'm just going to shoot into it with my primary weapon, which doesn't have any kind of elemental damage, it's just not really going to hit it to pieces. And let me just show you something, because as you could see, it just took out maybe the third of it. And okay, I don't have it right now, but in this way it's not going to be fine. I do have right now with this character only the Oversoul Edict, and I don't really have anything else, just these, which would kill it instantly. Whew. So in this way I'm not going to be able to really show you, but the point is that thing, that if you do have anything which has arc damage, which is just going to be this blue thing, what you can see, there is a weapon, but you can just change it. So in this way, as you can see, any kind of arc damage weapon is just going to make the job. Not to mention that if it's just a fusion rifle, and if you are just above its level, because in this way it's going to get killed instantly after I'm just going to recharge my fusion rifle. So let me just take it out, because I do know that it's not going to be end of the story. But yeah, let me just deploy the ghost and let me just start it, because I think instantly there will be three.
But something is fighting back. This will take some time.
Okay, just take your time. So there is going to be 3 of the big bubbles. I mean, not bubbles, but you are going to see the servitors, how they are just calling it. But before that thing, it looks like the dregs are just on to take me out. But of course, I'm not really intent to let it. I'm trying to do the same, that I'm just really getting out from its line, from the projectiles. And let me just, yeah, I was on to shoot it, but not from behind, of course. And right now I was not able to, oh yeah, let me just check it, I mean kill it, of course. So yeah, great music, and they are just coming around. Let me just deplete them a bit, because I'm just waiting for the servitors. After, I'm just going to kill these down. The servitors are just going to be around, I guess, and in that way, of course, they are just going to approach me. And behind me, oh shit, oh yeah, oh yeah, I was just concentrating in not to get killed. And I do know that Chico, 3 of the servitors are just going to come. And let me just deplete the enemy, even for anything, because at some point I'm not really on to get killed. I just got back and I'm just depleting them well, but in some way I'm not sure that you are going to be able to do it if you are just doing it from the beginning. But as you can see, if you are just learn how not to get hit, it won't be a problem. Not how not to get killed, but at some point the homing projectiles can be dodged easily, but those projectiles what is just shot by the dregs or the turrets are not going to be that easy to dodge, because it's just going to be in some way a straight projectiles, and they are just going to be much faster than the homing ones. So, oh shit, I was on too, but I was not able to. Yeah, this kind is just in some way the same, because it's just straight projectiles, and in some way it's just fast, but it just can be dodged again easier way than how the projectiles of the dregs. So I'm still not seeing the servitors around. So yeah, let me just use out my grenade on them. Let me just watch the result, because it looks like that it just worked out well, I guess. But yeah, it's just going to do. Okay, let me just kill it, because I guess that there will be still the servitors who I'm just counting for. Oh yeah, that's the first one, and I guess there will be more. Let me just try not to get killed, of course. Maybe there is only 2, I'm not sure, but the point of the servitor is just going to be that it's just going to regenerate the health of the enemy. Let me just show it if I will be able not to kill them. It cannot really recharge its own life, but it's going to recharge any other's life. What I'm going to show you if I will be able not to shoot it down with a headshot. But let me just throw a grenade on it. Just not going to kill it, but yeah, let me just... Yeah, the servitor is just a harder enemy in some way, but of course it has its precision point as well. So let me just try not to get killed, and let me just try to take the enemy down. And yeah, I just want to show you that it can really recharge the enemy's health, but for some reason. Okay, one drag. I might be able to shoot on its leg if it's just going to get out. And let me just show you that the one behind just got its health back. Let me just shoot. I mean, okay, just got killed again. So yeah, let me just... Oh yeah, you can see that it's just really regenerating. So the point of the servitors just going to be that thing, that if you are not going to kill the enemy, then it's going to get its health recharged, which is just not really going to be good for you, because it will need a lot of more bullets. Oops. So in this way the servitor can be your primary objective in so many ways, I guess. Of course, as you can see, they are not really fast, and their projectiles are not really fast either. So in this way it's not really going to be a hard enemy, but it has a lot of health in some way compared to other enemies. Not to mention that, of course, most of the enemy just has the yellow kind from it, and the yellow is always just much stronger than the white one. You are going to see it by the health of it, because I mean, I was saying it wrong, because it's not the white one, it's the red one, and the yellow one just has yellow health bar, which is going to make it really much faster. But how I'm just seeing, this is going to be the last enemy, so if I'm going to take it out, then it's just going to be fine in that way, that it's just going to end the mission. So let me just try to get close to it, and let me just... Okay, look at this, it's just... Oh shit, I was not able to hit it. I was getting away a bit, and I just got out from the invisible mode, but even for that it looked like that it's just really seeing me and watching me. Even for that, as you can see, okay, it's just not watching me anymore. I was on to tell you that even for that it's just not really shooting on you. So let me just try to use out my special ability. Yep, of course. I could do such thing like killing it that easy, but I'm just... I don't know. Of course, look at this. At some point, in some way, it looks like that it's just enraging itself. If it's just going to get wrecked in this way, that is just going to broken in some way. It's just going to approach you for some reason. Before this point, it's just not really going to attack you, but after it's just going to get broken, it's just really going to rush you in so many ways that it's just going to try to kill you hard. So its pattern, how it's going to fight against you, is going to change. And I think I just showed a lot of things in it about stealth. Let me just finish it, because at some point I do think that it's not going to be bad if I'm just going to end it. Of course, there will be much more part, and in some way I think I'm going to do it again. Of course, I'm just going to show you, but it looks like that I will need to destroy the fallen tab, it said, because it has an exposed core, and in some ways just not the guy, I guess, immune, because I'm just shooting it on the wrong place. Oh yeah, I need to shoot it here. After some point it's going to get blown up. Of course, I will be able to use anything, and it's not really having too much health.
They didn't get much. Kept hitting an active firewall. Old Earth. Russian.
I mean, really, I'm just not able to get upon it for some reason. Oh yeah, I was on to get on it and sit down on it. So thank you for watching this part, and of course I'm going to show you other things if I will be able to, but at least I'm just training to the DLC what I'm going to show you. This was the fourth part of the storyline, and of course this was light. I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess I'm going to see you around at least at the fifth part, right? This was the fourth part. I'm just getting a... Okay, so thank you for watching and see you again. Goodbye.